What's going on, everybody? It's Conti here with another video. How to create Scribble animation effects in DaVinci Resolve 16. In order to add the video file which you wish to apply the Scribble animation effect to, go to File, and Import Media. Once you have imported the video file into your media pool, left-click on the thumbnail for the video. Hold the left mouse button down and drag this file to your timeline in the edit interface. Let go of the left mouse button once your video is in place on the timeline. If I right click back on the thumbnail of my video file inside my media pool and go to Clip Attributes, note that this particular video that I have inserted into my DaVinci Resolve project plays at a speed of 24 frames per second. Click OK. Left click once on the Fusion icon at the bottom of your DaVinci Resolve interface. You should be able to see two nodes appearing on your screen now, one called Media In 1 and one called Media Out 1. If you can't due to obstruction from other windows or because of the distance between each of the nodes inside the Note panel, simply left click on one of the nodes, hold your mouse button down and drag this towards the other one. I'm also going to left click on the border of the keyframes window and drag this to the side. And this also helps me bring the two nodes together. Drag both nodes down towards the bottom so that there is enough room above. Left click on your Media In 1 node. You can tell that this node is selected because it has a red outline. In your Tools options above, find the Merge layer which appears as two rectangles with an arrow coming in from the left side and pointing to the right. Left click on this once, and a new node called Merge 1 should be inserted between Media In 1 and Media Out 1. You should see that both nodes, one on either side, is connected to the Merge 1 node in the middle. Alternatively, what you can do to insert this node with Media In 1 selected once more is to hold in Shift and press space on your keyboard. And using the search box inside the Select Tool window which appears, I'm going to type in Merge. And sure enough, I can find the same tool. I'm going to left click on this once and go to Add. And the Merge 1 node has successfully been inserted in between the two initial nodes. Deselect the Merge 1 node by left clicking off of the nodes anywhere inside the nodes window. You can tell that this is deselected now because there is no red outline. Go back to your Select Tool window again with Shift and space. Search for Background. Left click and go to Add. This should appear disconnected from the other three nodes. I'm going to left click and drag this to the side. With the Background 1 node selected, press Shift and space once again. This time find the Paint tool. Go to Add. This should be connected to the right of the Background node, like so. With the Paint node selected with a red outline, press Shift and space again. To add a gentle brightness to my Scribble drawings inside DaVinci Resolve, I'm also going to use the Soft Glow tool. The Glow tool could also be used in this case, so select either one depending on what you prefer. I'm going to left click once on Soft Glow and go to Add. Now to connect the Soft Glow node to the Merge node, I'm going to left click once on the box to the right of the Soft Glow 1 node, hold my mouse button down and drag my mouse cursor to the green arrow which appears above Merge 1. Let go of your left mouse button once your mouse cursor is hovering over this. Note in the preview in your Fusion window that your video project has disappeared from sight and that the visuals have gone black. In order to make your visual content appear once again, left click on Merge 1. Underneath Inspector and Tools, you should see that one of the merge properties is alpha gain, which is set to 1.0. Change this to 0. And you should now see your video appear on your preview once again. Left click on the Paint 1 node. Ensure that you have the multi-stroke tool selected. If you only select the stroke tool, what happens is that when you do a drawing on one particular frame, this drawing is duplicated on later frames in your video file. With multi-stroke selected, inside the inspector window for my paint node, underneath brush controls, ensure that soft is selected. Underneath tablet settings for this particular video, the size I will use is 0.01. Softness, which refers to the edge of your stroke, will be set to 1. And underneath in apply controls, ensure that the color icon is clicked, which is the bucket next to apply mode. Left click on the box on the rainbow vertical bar, drag this to find the shade which you wish to use for your brush. And then left click on the big square on the shade which you wish to use. The shade for my brush will appear next to the word color. The properties of the shade you will see below. If you adjust any of these, note how the selected color changes also. Press Ctrl and Z to undo, or Command and Z if you're a Mac user. And for stroke controls, center X and Y will be 0.5, angle at 0, and spacing will be set to 0.2. The red indicator on my Fusion timeline is currently at frame 0. I'm going to use my mouse by left clicking and dragging the mouse cursor to draw a face shape. Once you are done drawing in your first frame, what you can do is left click on the red indicator and drag this along your timeline to the next frame. So for example here, the subsequent frame is 1. The drawings that I will do in this particular frame will be similar, although not the same as those from the previous frame. This will help avoid making these scribble sketches too static and will enhance the animation effect on your final video. Just like how still images are compiled together to create the illusion of movement in stop motion animation, like in Wallace and Gromit. The shape of the mouth is gradually growing into a smile as the video progresses, and the different positions of the hairs create a wavy effect also. If you skip a frame, so for example here if I go from frame 1 to frame 3, to do my next scribble sketch, bear in mind that there will be a gap in the animation which appears in your final video. Please bear in mind also the speed at which your video plays. As indicated at the start of this tutorial, my video plays at 24 frames per second and therefore requires 24 individual scribble sketches to complete a whole second's worth of animation sequence. Continue doing your drawings until you are satisfied with what you have on your video project. In order to also move any preview in your Fusion window to the middle of your screen so that the video image is not stuck on the right here, you can also go to the single viewer option near the top of your interface. Left click once and this should centralize the video still in your Fusion window. To go back to the preview where the still was shifted to the right, left click on the same button which now says Dual Viewer. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that video was useful to you. If you enjoyed the content and wish to be notified about future uploads on this channel, please like and subscribe. Join me soon for another video. Take care.